scallops here. There's it's pretty flat, but you can see the subtle depressions in this part of the beach. So far, it's been a lot of light stuff, pieces of copper, some zinc pennies. But I finally broke the ice with a heavier coin. Always a good sign. This is a greenie, a quarter. It's been here a few years, and wasn't terribly deep. It was probably 6 to 8 inches deep. So that's a good sign. Hopefully I'm getting into a little heavier strata. I'm working from north to south, and I've got this little area in here. It's very subtle. You can't really see it, but there's a lot more shells and rocks in here than the surrounding area. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this is a low spot that's holding some heavier targets. So let's see where it goes. I'll be back. I showed you in the last video how working up in this cut bank, very subtly cut, but cut bank pays off. Digging heavier targets up top, not so heavy targets down below, that where all that accreted sand is. And it's kind of finally paid off a little bit in this area. You see, this the hole came out of. It was a real subtle signal, real tiny little nothing signal. Dug down, kicked it out, and there we go. There you go, gold bracelet. Nothing like the sight of gold in the sunlight. Don't even know what it is yet, 14, 10. But gave kind of a strange signal, as bracelets are apt to do. And so that's one in the bucket. And like I said, right up here in this sloped area, this is where I'm hitting them. Okay, well, I'm out here with Mike Quintino. He's showed up. Say hello. And he's using an SE Pro Minelab. And he does pretty well. Keep telling him to go and get a big boy scoop. But we'll get around to it one of these days. Just find a little more gold. So what we're doing is we're hunting a nice big dip in here. It looks real interesting, but a lot of shell mulch in here. And as a result, we're digging a lot of light targets. So I'm not super impressed, but I'm going to give it a try. I'll slog through this for a while. Maybe we'll pull a piece of gold. Because even though we dig a lot of light stuff out of here, there is the occasional thin gold ring that'll come out. So let's see what happens, and I'll be back. Okay, so I worked down about 5 blocks today, and I got in this low area, dug a number of coins. It was a mixed bag of stuff. It was pennies, dimes, nickels, quarters. It was just a mixed bag. Mostly light stuff. I was getting a lot of pennies, a lot of dimes, so that attests to the fact that it's sanding in. But this upper part of the tide line where it slopes, and like I said, it's hard to see unless you're really looking at it from the water up, but this gives you a good panoramic view of the type of area I was hunting. I got down into this area here, and found a couple of nice slopes. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a cut down in there. Wasn't a whole lot to be found down that area. Most of the heavy stuff was coming out of the flatter part of the beach where the depressions were. It was just cutting just enough into the bank where it was pulling out, I wouldn't say greenies, I've probably more recently lost coins. And of course that nice gold bracelet that I done. So that's about it. No great shakes, but I'm happy. And hopefully I'll be back. Okay, well, I found a low spot. Just reading the beach. This is probably the lowest spot for quite a few blocks around. You can see a little rip here when the water comes in at high tide. And apparently that's what's cutting this out. Okay, well, I like to hunt these little rips in here. These are the areas where the water rushes in, rips the sandbar in two. And you can usually tell if there's something, if they're worth it, because you'll see these little shells and pebbles and things like that that actually get swept in. And a lot of times small pieces of jewelry will be swept in as well. You know, some fairly substantial rings and gold jewelry have come out of these type of areas.
We're on our way here. I hit this beach down in front of it was actually down my way. And it looked like it was cut out. It looked pretty good, but it kind of threw me a little bit. I don't know. It must have sanded in. The only place I really dug anything was down by the rips, right in the rip and right at the mouth of the rip. Yeah, those areas can be pretty good. They can be pretty productive at times. Unfortunately, today I was digging nothing but pennies and dimes down in there. I dug a couple pairs of sunglasses, and that was about it. So nothing really to brag about. I did dig a junk earring. It looks like a junk, like a little sand dollar post earring type thing. Anyway, the bottom line, it was pretty much all deep and light, so it really wasn't too productive. It's safe to say that it's pretty sanded in down at the bottom. I'm working up north here, and I think I'm going to hit the place I hit yesterday where I got the gold. Hopefully it hasn't filled in, but I doubt it has. Up near the top of the tide line, there were those nice little slopes in there. Maybe work a couple of blocks north of where I was yesterday, and see how that pans out. So I'll be back, and hopefully next time you see me, I'll have some gold.
Okay, you can see all these shells and rocks in here. I'm hunting a nice little slope, and gonna work it real slow and see what I can pull out. Okay, well, I'm working in a side of a scallop. I got into this area here, dug a quarter signal, started to spiral out, got another quarter, and it's real subtle. It's hard to really see, but what you want to do is look for these shells and these rocks in here. You can see them pretty well. They, I don't know if you can, this camera will pick up the contours, but what you want to do is you're going to look for the contours. Look for the real subtle contours. And again, like I said, you've got shells and rocks that are going to point the way. These things fall into these low areas at high tide, and they just group in here. So it's just a matter of looking for areas that have this. I was talking about embedded shells and pebbles. You can see where they're actually embedded in the sand in this part right here. So this is the area you want to hunt. As the shells get bigger, pebbles get a little heavier, start working slow in there. And again, this is a lot of earned area. You get in here, you're going to earn what you find, because you got to work slow. Once you find a heavy coin, spiral out from it, work it slow, and listen for those really faint signals. That's gonna be the key. You're gonna find the stuff that the other guys miss. Okay, this is Michael Sims from Jersey Shore Beach and Surf Hunters Group. He's using an old white Spectrum. Thing was from the early 90s he put out, and he's got a pile of coins in his pocket. He's taking a lot of stuff, so seems to be doing okay. He's got a homemade scoop, serving him well. So he's just starting out. He used to hunt back in the 90s, he told me, and hasn't hunted since then. But I was telling him, you want to get in these slopes, hunt right along these contours, and listen for the deep stuff. He's got good style. He's keeping his coil close to the ground. The trick is he's got his shaft of his metal detector extended all the way, so it gives him an even sweep all the way through. He's 6'3", so it's very important that he be able to stand up straight and keep his coil on the ground. Okay, good luck, Mike.